Hi, welcome to Bedtime Terror, the show where I watch a scary movie before bed and let you know how I think I'm going to sleep. My name is Bobbie, and tonight's review is going to be on the 1983 classic Sleepaway Camp. Let's get into it. So, this movie, if it were a person, it'd be old enough to run for president. So, there's going to be some spoilers. So, Sleepaway Camp is about Ricky and his cousin Angela, who is severely traumatized from a boating accident that tragically killed her, both her parents and twin brother, when she was very small, and is now living with her cousin Ricky and being raised by her aunt, who is really weird and creepy. We'll get back to her. So, yeah, she's very quiet and traumatized, and this is her first time going to sleepaway camp for the summer. And while they're there, there's some unknown killer at the camp murking kids, and that's the movie. So so yeah, so I mentioned her aunt, and like her aunt instantly creeped me out so much because like the chick looked open casket ready, and I didn't understand like what's going on and why, and like she was like so weird and flighty, but at the same time it's like I counted how many times she blinked the whole scene that she was in, and it was only the two times. I was like, why is this bitch just like staring and not blinking? I don't get it. But apparently, it is a genetic disease that runs in the family because Angela, oh my gosh, I know we are supposed to like feel bad for her and sympathetic for Angela because she has gone through something so traumatic, and because of that she's very timid and quiet, and so when she goes to the camp she doesn't talk, but like she also just stares at you and doesn't talk, and like even when you ask her yes or no questions she won't give a nod or a shake of her head. And then when you see her actually talk to like certain other people, you're like, you don't even want to nod to me. I'm asking you a question. Like, I'm not condoning bullying. But I'm just saying like what, like at least nod, at least blink. Like, oh my gosh, up here looking like a spooky cat. Like, oh, she was Angela was annoying. I'm sorry. Like if I was supposed to feel sorry for this girl, I did it. Um, and apparently everyone, for the most part in this movie, like when her family, when she was little, the first scene that we see, like her family dies in this boating accident at this lake, which why would you then send her later as a teenager to the same lake where her family died? Like, huh? Talk about triggering. Like, what is going on with this movie? There was so much of me going, like, where's the common sense, folks? So, like, yeah, where was I even? Because I could just almost like rant about how ridiculous this movie is. Um, yeah, so like in the accident that like ends up killing her family, her father and brother, like like the lifeguard is just there's three whole adult, like there's a lifeguard that's there and he's just like motionless and speechless just watching the this child and their father drown. Like what? And then the same thing with like their other father that was just like watching them. So, like why is everyone not reacting, not responding? I'm like, dude, you're the lifeguard. Like, it says it on your chest, on your shirt. Why aren't you guarding lives? Like, what is really happening? This is just the first like 3 minutes. And then you get the creepy aunt who like looks like a mortician did her makeup. And then, and then as soon, these kids haven't even unpacked. They haven't even gotten to their cabins yet. And like the kitchen staff are a bunch of these like older men, and this like fat slovenly older guy is like looking at all the children and like getting turned on. He's talking about how he likes some balls, and I'm like, and everyone's like, who, you're so silly, you know, that's, they're just kids, oh, you're so weird. I'm just like, yo, the 80s are wild. Like, things that were acceptable in the 80s just would not be cool now. So when he's like the first person to go, you don't feel bad. You're like, okay, cool. Like, that's fine. Because, you know, he tried to, you know, like, take advantage of Angela. This is when, yeah, you do feel sympathetic for the girl. But for the most part, I'm just like, at least blink and braille, something. Like, you don't blink, you don't speak, you just stare and be mute. Like, girl, like, it. Another thing I didn't like about Angela is, like, the one person who, like, stands up for her, the one girl who, like, speaks up for her and even slaps the hell out of a bully for her. She doesn't even say thank you to. She's just like, I'm going to go see my cousin now. And I'm just like, girl, you don't want at least to be like, thanks? You just, I'm going to leave. Like, I should be smacking the, Anyways. So, I feel like, also, I feel like the first 3 kills, like, that was the budget. And for for the killing, and then when they're like, yo, we got like 2 more kills that we got to do, they're like, okay, let's think about this. Yeah, how about we just do some shadow puppet show of one of the killings? And like, it was the most minimal like shift in like, okay, let's do all the, you know, gruesome stuff now, and then like make you believe that like this is happening in the shadows. And then, oh my gosh, so like, again, which we were like, why is it acceptable in the 80s? The owner of the camp, Mr. Roper, I know that's not his name, I know it's Mel, but I call him Mr. Roper because that's how he was dressed. So Mr. Roper is like, he's like trying to keep all of this hush hush, right? And then obviously parents are pulling their kids out. I don't understand why there's still kids there. I would have just shut down shop. Like, why are we still doing this? But like, he's also like this old man who's banging one of the like campers, or like, you know, like, what's happening? And then and then he also was like talking to Angela's cousin Ricky, and while he's like talking to Ricky, he's talking about like, oh yeah, this is some bad publicity, I'm really worried about the camp. I'm just like, yo, why are you talking about this to like a freshman in high school? Like, these kids' voices haven't even changed, which I do like that they use actual like teenagers for this movie instead of a bunch of like 20-something-year-olds pretending to be teenagers. But I'm just like, yo, why are you, someone who's like old enough to be his grandfather, talking to him like, yeah, I'm really worried about the bad publicity that the camp's getting? Like, what is this 8th grader relating to you about? Like, sir, this seems so unprofessional. And then he starts like trying to like rough him up in the middle of the day in front of everyone, all these campers around. And like, one of the counselors had to like intervene, and I'm just like, what is happening? What did he think he was going to accomplish from doing this? And then I really got confused when later that night he like beats the crap out of this eighth grader for like, because he suspects he's the killer that's murking all these kids at this camp. And like, he beats the crap out of this like 14-year-old. And I'm just like, then he's like, I gotta go hide. And he runs. And I'm just like, what did you think? And what did any of this was going to accomplish to you in your mind, Mr. Roper? Like, oh my gosh, this movie was wild. And we haven't even got to the end. And I know you know what the end is because, like, I knew what the end was even before. Because if you heard about Sleepaway Camp, then you know the ending. So you know. But, like, what really tripped me out the most about the ending? Okay, before we get to the ending. I keep doing this, I'm sorry. Okay, so there was just like one cop. The only came like twice. Like the one cop, there's no sheriff. I'm pretty sure this dude is just a deputy. There's no sheriff, there's no SWAT team. And I think this camp is like in Jersey. So they could have had like tri-state area FBI, all this, and instead there's just like one lone cop that's like recruiting counselors as like semi-detectives. What is happening? And for some reason homie's mustache, I don't understand. It wasn't necessary. I don't know if it was drawn on with a Sharpie or if that was like electrical tape, but it was so flat and it had that weird like luster to it. It had that weird sheen that I'm just like, why is this necessary? You should have saved the mustache budget and moved it towards, I don't know, us being able to see a kill on screen, like a little bit of blood, like something. Oh my gosh, this movie. So yeah, we get to the ending. What tripped me out the most about the ending is that like it's the reveal and then the credits start rolling. You're like, yo, that's it? Like, end. Like, Finn. Like, that's it. That's just how this ends. We're just gonna roll the credits now. Like, what? Oh, this movie was a trip, you guys. It was pure comedy. Oh my gosh. Was it a horror? No, I laughed this whole time. It was like so confused by what I saw. Like the aunt that seems either overly or under medicated. You can't tell. Like from the beginning, this was just gonna to the very end. Oh my gosh, this movie. Whatever you do, I recommend watching this movie not sober because it is hilarious. Oh my gosh, it is hilarious. It's uncalled for. So much of it is uncalled for. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I enjoyed it. On a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, excuse me, on a scale of 1 to 5. I'm gonna give this, for the pure sheer comedy of it, a 3. I'm gonna sleep okay. I'll probably sleep better than usual from laughing so much. So yeah, link to watch it yourself here on YouTube, completely ad-free, free of charge, is going to be in this description box below. Thank you so much for watching and hopefully laughing along with me. I appreciate your eyes. Please, please, please make sure to like, share with your friends, subscribe, leave a comment. It helps more people get to see this. And let me know your favorite part of Sleepaway Camp. Like, were you watching it the same way I was? And like, wow, the 80s are wild. This is just like casual, predatory conversations. This is normal. Okay. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Check out the channel on Instagram. That's at bedtime.terror. And thanks again, guys. And until next time, sleep.